oh my God, I'm going to end up on the news for hurting my child. Help me. It scared the shit out of me because I felt horrible. If all we're going to do is share the magical moments, those moms that are going through it, they're going to feel like they're alone. And that is the problem, is that moms think that they're alone and you're not. We have both been through it.
Yes.
We have both been there.
Many times. This goes back to like the positive of it. In my opinion, this is how I feel about having children. There was a me before kids that like, I'm like, what the heck was I doing in life? Like I had no meaning in life. Without the bad days, the good days would not exist. We're in this together. All of us moms, we've all had moments and felt, out of touch. I promise you. No one talks about the first year postpartum. Nobody. You don't just have a baby. You become a completely different person and a completely different version of yourself, and no one really prepares you for that.
Welcome, Waddlers. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Christian, and this is Waddling Truth.
And if you're new here, we're so glad you found us, because this is a space where we talk about the real unfiltered side of pregnancy, postpartum, and motherhood. The stuff that you're probably Googling at 2 a.m. and wondering, is this normal?
And if you've ever felt like, why did nobody tell me it would be like this after the baby? This episode's for you.
Before we jump in, if you're listening and this resonates at any point, give us a like, a follow, and leave us a comment. Because if one person is going through it, I bet you a lot of us are, and we can be each other's community.
Truly.
We read your responses, we respond, and honestly, it helps all the other moms too.
It really does. And also, leaving a comment on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube does help other moms find us. It helps us get into the algorithm. So if you guys don't mind just quickly stopping the episode, following us, that would really help us. And leave a small comment. Just a small heart would be helpful.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest myth. That postpartum is just 6 weeks. Just 6 weeks. You just popped out a whole baby. So in 6 weeks, you're perfectly normal. Absolutely not. At your 6-week checkup, they just essentially go, you good? No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm not. At 6 weeks, your hormones are still all over the place. Your body is still healing, and you're still trying to figure out sleep. And honestly, you will be for the first year of your baby's life, because the second you feel like you've got it all down, they'll go through a sleep regression. And it's like, all right, you're cleared. Good luck.
I don't know. My youngest is 2, and I feel like I'm still battling.
Oh, yeah. Hormones.
The more babies you have back to back, the better. And also, I feel like a lot of moms, especially new ones, typically we're not really honest at our 6 weeks appointment, because I think we're because they ask you
they are so quick about it.
Well,
too.
no, they ask you those questions of like, do you ever feel like you ever think
you're
going to
hurt yourself or your baby?
And I will say, I never thought about hurting my baby. I would be lying if I say that I never had like these visions of something happening to my child.
Yeah.
And I like and my child wouldn't even be near me. Like I'd go to the store and I would think I left my baby in the car.
Oh my God.
Or my baby fell out of the crib. And and nobody realized that is postpartum.
Yeah.
That is postpartum depression.
Have you ever been in a hotel on like the 3rd story looking over the balcony and thought, what would happen if I accidentally dropped my baby over the balcony?
Or if you
That is postpartum.
Or if you jumped.
I've never had that thought.
Or if you like leaned over.
Like I've always been like scared, like, oh my God, what if I go off on like the thoughts that I have that are like, so what is it? It's like kind of, what is it called? It is the intrusive thoughts. That's what that is. And it's like, it's the thoughts of like, well, what if I went off on a bridge and like in the water and like I had to get all my babies out? This is my worst fear because I have 5 kids in car seats. Well, not, they're able to get out now. So it's like less stressful, but still like a lot of them, they can't fully swim. It's like, I have so many babies. Like that was my worst fear. And like, I would have it every time I drive over water. Anytime I would think about like going on a balcony, like I had that thought. Like I just what is wrong with me? What is wrong with my head?
I would have like visions of finding my children in the bathtub.
I'm scared of the toilet. Have you ever heard of that?
And I've got a child that looks like himself wet willies. So, but I literally have like thoughts where like I would have these thoughts that I'd give my baby a bath, and like I would turn to grab a towel or something, and then like
I would underwater,
or I would hit my head and fall. So my kids have taken all showers.
Yeah,
but it's just, that is postpartum depression.
Yeah, it's not postpartum depression. It's actually postpartum anxiety, but it can also lead to depression.
It leads to depression.
Yes, if untreated.
Yeah, and so like, and I will say that there's been times where I've had I wouldn't say I've ever had thoughts about hurting myself. I had thoughts about, like, not that I don't wanna be here, like, I want myself, but it was, like, mostly, like, I don't wanna be here because my child is better off without me,
Mm,
because I can't be happy, and why does my child and my husband deserve to be around me so unhappy?
I hate
And
that. I'm
and it
sorry.
but it happens, but the thing is that we scare ourselves to where when we talk to our doctor about it, we think that they're, like, gonna call CPS on us, and that's not the case, because when I realized that I needed help, my doctor was like, "I'm glad you came to me. Let's do this." And if it's untreated, it does lead to more serious things.
There was a girl I went to high school with. I'm just gonna tell a really fast story that she had just had her baby, and it was, like, 2 weeks after she had her baby, and she's, like, posting I got goosebumps because, like, she had posted, like, photos of herself with her baby, and I'm like, "Something is off." And I'm like, "Do I reach out to her?" I haven't talked to her since high school. And I'm like, "I'm just gonna ask her, like, are you okay?" Like, because I've had, like, 2 to 3 babies at this point. Like, I felt like she was really struggling, and it turned out she was, and I won't say that I'm the reason that she had reached out to her doctor, but she did reach out to a doctor after that. Like, I think she was already trying to, like, figure it out and everything, and I'm so glad she did because she told me that after she got help, they put her on some stuff and, like, they helped her, like, it helped, and you know what? It's important to do that. Now, for me personally, I never got on any medication, and that's because I do know my body. I do know, like, there is light at the end of the tunnel for me. Like, I do know after about, like, 10 months, I really like, 8 to 10 months is when I really start seeing, like, the light and start feeling like myself again. If you look at pictures of me, like, 6 months ago, I look like a ragamuffin because I just couldn't get myself ready. I was so tired, I was exhausted, I was in the thick of it, and that's normal for me, and I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel like it. Didn't feel pretty anytime, like, it just was a emotional roller coaster. Also, nobody talks about the identity shift in postpartum and how different you feel in your own skin, even after your first baby, your second baby, your third, your fourth, your fifth. Like, every baby, you have this massive identity shift, not just in your body, but in your mind and who you feel like you are. Some days you feel so confident, so beautiful, so everything. Like, you're like, I'm who, like, I know exactly who I am. Like, you feel very sure of yourself. And the next you're lost. The next you don't know who you are.
But also, and I don't mean to interrupt, but we live in a world where women are just we're just expected to get up and just move on, and we don't talk about it. Especially,
Mhm.
I've had 2 traumatic births back to
Yeah.
back. I've never talked to anybody
Yeah.
really about those
Yeah,
births.
because you also feel like it is kind of a sad reality. Like, people don't love people who complain. It's just
Yeah.
like a
But, like,
thing.
when you don't talk about that, that goes to anxiety, and
Mhm.
I'll tell you, my son is almost 18. I still have nightmares of
I
his
believe
birth.
it.
I still have nightmares of my other son's birth. It is not something easy to get over, and so, yes, like, we just women have these problems because you feel so alone, and
Yeah,
when
you
until you
do.
finally
It's
meet somebody that actually
yeah.
will give a damn and listen to you.
Yeah.
Because and that's the thing, like, it kills me sometimes because I will say as a society, I feel like people have gotten better with mental health, and they've gotten really good at it.
I
Like,
think
they're
it's gone a little too far in my
well,
opinion,
I
but
do feel like it's gone too far,
I
but
think
I
it's
feel
like it's
like
used as an excuse rather than, like, something that you're
I
dealing
agree,
with,
but I feel like that mental health does not cater to postpartum mothers
Yes,
because
agreed.
there's postpartum mothers that have gone to postpartum psychosis that they probably could have been helped if
Yeah,
somebody would have been like, "Are you okay? What is going
right.
on?" Like,
Or, like, instead of being like, "You're doing great," like, "You I don't know how you're doing it all." I'm not. I'm
mhm,
struggling, and I've thought about that many times in the thick of it. Like, in the first 6 months especially, I remember thinking, like, every time I'd go somewhere, they'd be like, "You're doing such an amazing job." I'm like, "I feel like I'm drowning
yeah,
on dry land," and everybody's just, like, smiling and laughing and being, "Good
yeah.
job," and it's
I
like, it's hard.
I scared the shit out of myself maybe about 7-ish months ago because I was just filled with so much rage, and I did not know why. I was so mad all the time, and there was just this one time, and I hate to admit it because it's really heartbreaking because I love my children more than anything. But there was this time where my 2-year-old just would not stop. He was just pushing every button possible, and he was screaming and crying, And I don't know what happened. I just remember that, like, I had his forehead like this, and I was about to slam him into the wall to get him to stop. And before I did anything, like, I guess my husband saw my palm on his hand, and he grabbed me and picked me up and said, "I've got him."
Yeah.
And when I turned around and realized what I did, I cried. I went to my doctor and I said, "Oh my God, I'm going to end up on the news for hurting my child. Help me." And she did. And she was like,
Mhm.
"You're not going to end up on the news. You
You're gonna be
came in
okay.
but it's scary. It
It
is
is
scary
scary.
how that rage comes
Mhm.
over you.
It does in, like, a matter of
And
seconds,
it
too.
does. And I felt so shitty for that
And
because,
so shameful, and I
and he
think
was just
that's
being a
super
normal toddler.
normal.
Like, I mean, like, but it was like when I snapped out of thank God my husband was there, because I think about it all the time. Like, if he wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
Right.
But the fact that he was, it was like,
Thank God.
yeah,
It was
because
kind of a realization for you.
it
I'm
jolted me. It
glad.
scared the shit out of me because I felt horrible. But since I've been on medication, I feel like I still get angry, but I've learned different coping mechanisms, and I've
It's
learned,
hard. It's still very
yeah.
hard. All of it's
But
hard.
also that moment my husband realized that I needed help, and
I
he's
do I
more there
do
for me.
I wanna put in here that, like, yes, we're talking about a lot of the negatives with postpartum, and all of this is true, but I do wanna say there's also so much beautiful stuff in
Mm.
postpartum as well. I just wanna add that little disclaimer in here because this is kind of a heavy episode, and if this is too much for you, you can go ahead and click away and come back when you're ready, but this is the reality,
This
a
is
lot of
something that
moms
needs to be
face.
talked about.
Yeah,
I feel like,
I
I do
agree.
think she's right that postpartum does have a lot of magical moments,
A lot.
but when all
Like the
you
newborn scrunch, it's the
yes,
best.
but if all we're gonna do is share the magical moments, those moms that are going through it, they're gonna feel like they're alone, and that is the problem, is that
Yeah.
moms think that they're alone, and you're not, because guess what? I love my kids, I love the baby stage,
Yeah.
Christian loves her kids, and she will tell you every stage she loves, but guess what? We have both been through it.
Yes.
We have both been there,
Many times.
and guess what?
Some would say
It's
too
a
many.
little season, and when you finally get over it,
It
you
is a
look back
season.
and you're like, "Oh my gosh," like,
That's the best way to describe the first year is a season. It's a season because having a baby is hard. It's a season because the shift in your personality is really hard. It's a season where you find out who you are. It's a season where you grow and change. Like, to be completely honest with you guys, and this goes back to like the positive of it. In my opinion, this is how I feel about having children. There was a me before kids that, like, I'm like, what the heck was I doing in life? Like, I had no meaning in life. And then there's an after my children. And it's like, I wouldn't change a single day on this earth with my kids, even my worst day. And to be clear, without the and I remember my husband telling me this postpartum because I'd be like, I'm just having like a really hard day. Like, nothing is wrong. I just feel like, ugh. And he'd be like, without the bad days, the good days would not exist. And every time I'd have a bad day, I'd think to myself, without this bad day, like the good days wouldn't exist. And it did help me. So I hope that helps you as well because we're in this together. All of us moms, we've all had moments and felt, you know, out of touch. I promise you, you're not the
And
only
to
one
be
that feels
honest,
this
dads
way.
go through postpartum depression too, and that's not talked
Yeah.
about at all. I've
I
known
don't
dads
know
that end up
how, yeah.
I know there's dads that end up going on medication. Like, they don't go through, like, because they don't go through birth, but they go through an identity shift as well.
If you're listening and thinking, this is literally me, pause for a second and leave a comment that says same, because I promise you, you're not the only one feeling this way. And don't forget to follow and share and like for more.
So let's talk about something that is not talked about. Hormones.
Yep, hormones.
Hormones. Your hormones don't go back to normal.
They
They
don't.
shift
Mhm.
constantly, even up to a year or two, because it's just certain times of the month make it harder. Random waves of anxiety or sadness.
Mhm. So for me personally, like I have really noticed my cycle this postpartum. So I notice like when I get to like ovulation, I feel like angry. I mean, angry, angry. And if there's nothing going on, but I'm mad. I'm mad, mad, mad. I have to like work out or something because I just am so aggravated for no reason at all. And I don't want to take it out on my kids. And then like the next week, the week before my period, I'm so anxious. I mean, it's gotten better now. I'm almost a year postpartum, but like for the first year, really, I've been dealing with that, and it's been hard. And like I've been really open with my husband. Like, I feel very, very frustrated today. Like, I really need you to like help more, do something more today, because I just really need the help. And the one thing I'll advise for moms is they don't know unless you ask, and they don't know unless you tell. So if you're feeling a certain type of way and you're frustrated because it feels like they don't care, they probably don't know. Everybody thinks they're the center of the universe. We all do. Okay? It's not that they don't care enough to notice, it's that, he's living in his reality, and in his reality, he just had a beautiful little baby with the love of his life. So if you're having a hard time, talk to somebody. You can talk to your mom, you can talk to your husband, you can talk to your partner. Just talk to somebody.
Talk to your Facebook community.
Talk to us.
Just remember, your body is just right now, it's going through a motion of recalibrating. Just remember, think of like every time you have to update your phone and every time you have to update something, your body has to update because it's just fixing those bugs every time you turn around. And that takes time.
It does get better day by day. And that's the best way to describe postpartum, is every day does get easier. Some days it feels like you go 2 steps back, but every day you typically are going forward, and that's okay to have hard days, because like I said, without the hard days, the good days wouldn't be good. So let's talk about the good mom versus real mom. Some days you feel like you have it all together. Your house is clean, you're dressed, the kids are happy, the kids are clean and dressed. Not all at the same time. Okay, let's not get crazy here. But other days you can barely get off the couch. And both of those days are part of motherhood. We've been conditioned to think the productive days are good mom days, and the survival days are failing. That's just not true. Sometimes being a good mom looks like resting, slowing down, letting things go. Both of them are good mom. And honestly, women work very differently than men. We go through cycles. Our energy goes through cycles. Our hormones go through cycles, and all of those things are normal. And all of those days you're giving it your best, and that is okay. And if anybody's giving you a hard time about it, like, punch them in the neck. Okay, don't actually, but seriously, like,
I mean, I convinced myself that, like, beginning of the year, I would like make my son like this elaborate lunch that had like all the different food sources. Like, he would have a fruit, he'd have a vegetable, he would have, and because
all the food groups,
because I've never been able to do that before.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was literally driving myself crazy about it. And
we just get Uncrustables now. I did the same thing.
I would tell myself, like, with these kids, I'm going to make them homemade. We're going to have meals and everything. And it's just not the reality.
Nope.
You're a good mom if you make a homemade lasagna, and you're a good mom if you go buy a Happy Meal. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
your kid's going to be okay. They all eat chicken nuggets off the floor.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you're going to find them eating those Cheerios no matter what. Sometimes surviving means you're a good mom. Like, it
does. Seriously, getting through the day sometimes is like, is enough. Sometimes getting through the day is just enough, and that's okay. It's okay. So I want to know something. What month postpartum hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments, because I guarantee there are other moms just like you.
What month hit you the hardest?
I would say probably 7, because I felt like I should have been further. And I felt like I should have been healed at that time, because it had been so long. I thought I was supposed to bounce back, but no, you don't bounce back, not emotionally, not physically, not mentally. Some moms feel like themselves at 3 months, some at 10 months. That was me. And some even later. And none of them are wrong. All of them are tailored to you personally. So just take care of yourself.
If no one's told you this recently, you're doing better than you think you are. Even on the days that feel messy, and even on the days you question every single thing, the season is heavy, but it's also temporary. And you don't have to go through it alone.
You don't.
I'm also going to tell you, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor. If this episode helped you in any way, make sure you follow, like, and share with another mom who needs to hear this. And if you've been silently listening, this is your sign to say hi in the comments.
Hey.
We are so glad you're here.
Yes, we are. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.